Coming up, Motorhead Garage finds solutions to some common problems, like how to create a paint booth out of thin air, how to get off the line quicker, and how to remove your top in no time flat. Welcome to another edition of Motorhead Garage presented by Top Coat. You know, we have a great time here in our Borla studios from week to week, but every once in a while it's nice to hit the road. And we did just that last year when we headed down south to visit a few good friends. We are deep in the heart of Texas at the headquarters of Mobile Environmental Solutions just outside of Dallas, where these folks are making portable paint booths like this. And now Tom Williams is here, and he is the president of Mobile Environmental Solutions. Thank you for having us down. We've seen you in the studio, and it's good to be here.
Texas, Dave.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
All he needs a hat, right?
That's all you need. It's a big 10-gallon cowboy hat.
Cool. I love it. This place is pretty amazing. We've had a little look around. Tell us what you do here at Mobile Environmental Solutions.
Mobile Environmental Solutions was designed to help people increase productivity and efficiency, whether it be the do-it-yourself painter, whether it be the person that's doing minor body repairs, whether it be the U.S. military that needs to do work outside in the Middle East. I mean, the uses are unlimited. If you need a clean room and you need it set up in conditions that may not be correct, all you need is a couple 110 power outlets, and we've got you covered.
So you're not just for somebody who needs a paint booth. This is not just for painters, right?
No, I mean, it goes as far as car washes, details, ceramic coatings, it needs that clean environment, window tint. I mean, the uses are truly unlimited.
And you have a lot of different sizes, a lot of different models people can use, right?
Absolutely. We build them as small as a 12 by 12. Those are the hobbyists, the guys doing airbrush, guys doing, home remodels, doing cabinetry work, that you don't want to turn around and do a makeshift paint booth in somebody's house. You set this up outside the driveway and do everything right there. That way you don't have to worry about damaging anything, in transport. To build them big enough to put an Apache helicopter in, to do a semi, you name it.
And this is not just for somebody who's a hobbyist. You can be the guy at home that wants one of these for some extra space, but these are also used professionally, right?
Absolutely. I mean, predominantly a lot of our customers are using them on a daily basis, using them outdoors, using them indoors. They're made off of commercial grade quality.
Commercial grade quality, but what does that really mean for durability?
It means that the vinyl's been treated to a product that has a fire resistance to it. It means that the panels are all replaceable. It means that it can take the beating of an inflatable that's going to be used every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and it's got longevity, not something that's a one-time use or use a couple times and you throw away.
But when I'm setting this up, that takes a long time, right? And then I've got to worry about setup time and tear down.
You'd be surprised. You turn around, you unroll it just like you would a mattress, turn around and plug it in, it's usually up in less than 2 or 3 minutes.
That's pretty amazing. So it keeps productivity up, right?
Absolutely.
What are some of the things about your paint booths that set you apart from the other ones that are out there?
The biggest thing is our patent design that's a true cross-flow positive pressure, where it allows the air to continue, not just at the back of the booth, but it's bringing in filtered air through 2/3 of the booth to the end. And that's what really sets it apart from any other inflatable paint booth on the market.
So anybody can set up some curtains around here or make a balloon or a bubble, but you guys, safety was really the name of the game for you,
Absolutely,
right?
and that's what it was set up, is to create a safe environment that wouldn't necessarily be available to everybody. Not everybody has the space to set up a permanent paint booth that they're not going to use every day. We know how real estate's expensive. You can imagine tying up 400 or 500 square feet in your shop. If you're not painting every day that shop's open, you're not making money off that real estate.
Now, who are some of the customers that you see using your paint booths?
A lot of guys doing used car reconditioning. Body shops will use it for overflow. They don't want to turn around and spray a bumper or fender and tie up their big permanent paint booth that they're going to be doing complete jobs. That they need, they need that big permanent paint booth to be handling their bigger, higher revenue jobs. And they'll use these for their parts and their overflow and stuff like that.
Clearly, it's a really cool product, and I can't wait to see how it's all built and everything. One thing that stands out to me, though, is it's made in the USA. Why is that so important?
Because we can control the quality. We control the entire build process from start to finish. And it just allows us to just put a much better product out on the streets.
We're taking a little field trip to the folks at Metro Dent. We'll tell you about that in a minute. In the meantime, I wanted to show you this. I grabbed this off the cutting room floor. It's a piece of material from one of the beams of the mobile paint unit. I have tried to stretch it, tear it, break it. It won't budge. And Tom, between using materials like this that are so durable and the quality control, how many people do you hear back from that have a failure?
That's what the failure rate is very, very minimal. We use a very high quality vinyl with a stop tear technology in it. and it's a very high quality made product.
Cool, and that ensures that you hardly hear from anybody. It probably takes a major catastrophe.
Absolutely. Usually we hear from them when they need more paint filters.
And these things are out in the weather all day, and people are taking them up and down. So
absolutely,
it's a great endorsement for your product.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mike, you've been doing this for 21 years. You're in the paintless dent repair.
We do minor collision, all sort of things, but working with Tom and these units, it's best served in the paintless dent repair, hail estimation industry.
And that's a huge business down here, and you've probably got a bunch of cars coming through these big Texas hailstorms. How is this brand new, first time on TV, how is this tunnel going to help what you do?
This tunnel helps out in so many different ways from a PDR company's perspective, from the beginning process with the estimation. It helps with the insurance companies. There's always a subjectiveness, especially if you're trying to view a car outside or without proper conditions. And that's always on every company's mind. What kind of conditions were these estimates done in? This is the ideal situation because this booth is designed exactly like the lights that the PDR technicians are actually using to do the repairs. So if you can't see it in here, they're not there. So basically what the lines do, again, it's very similar to what a PDR technician's using, is it's not so much that you're putting light on the panel as you're creating distortion and depth perception. So that's kind of what the black lines or dead space in between does. So when you're doing a hail estimation, whether you're an insurance company, a PDR company, or whatever, there's a matrix that's used. So it's all categorized 1 to 5 dents, 6 to 15, 16 to 30, all the way up, but then also by dime, nickel, quarter, half dollar, and oversize. So by creating these lines and that depth perception, you're actually able to see what size the dents are, and the majority of the dents are in that panel, because all too often it's just natural for the human eye to naturally just see the bigger dents and miss all the smaller stuff. And I think that's what plays such a big role in the estimation process, that having all these lines and creating all that depth perception allows whoever's writing that estimate to actually see all the damage.
Well, Mike, we can see how this is better for you, better for the insurance companies, makes it easier for your guys to work. So obviously a better job, and customers are going to be really happy with it.
Absolutely. It's very versatile. It allows us, cradle to grave, start the process. Again, no matter what the conditions are, indoor or outdoor. But the nice thing is, if it's a slower day or I have the ability, because I can set it up and take it down so fast, if I choose to work underneath this thing as a technician, rather than moving my lights around and everything else, I can sit here and do a full repair to this car because it is the perfect setting to do so.
Well, do not go anywhere, because we have a lot more Motorhead Garage presented by Top Coat coming up right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977. RockAuto.com, all the parts your car will ever need. And by Top Coat, advanced coating solutions through innovation and technology.
Well, here at Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat, we have a sister show. It's called Performance TV. So let's kick it over there to my buddy Joe Costello to see a bit of what they do over there.
Now, you know I love technology. It makes things better and more efficient. Maybe in no better example than the torque converter. Marty Chance is in the house. Marty, we got some converters, we got some race cars and hot rods. What are we learning about this week?
Our bolt-together converters have taken over heads-up drag racing, and in a modern race car, it's all about tunability. Our torque converters don't just have a few stators. The stators are almost infinitely variable. For example, for a converter like this, we'll build a stator from 20 degrees to 50 degrees in every 2.5 degree increments. And not only that, but the blade counts. Like, you could have as many as 20 blades, as few as 7 blades. We also build them in X and A factors, which are stators that have a slightly higher torque multiplication. There's also an R factor. That's something we've never talked about publicly. It's a technology we designed probably more than a decade ago. Basically what it is, it's a technology that allows us to advance or retard the stator like you would advance or retard a camshaft, which is to say we can make the stator stay in a torque multiplying mode longer or come out sooner.
So you're speaking another language to a lot of people out there, but there are a lot of people that understand exactly what you're saying. Bottom line is we're talking about winning races and getting the most out of the parts and pieces you've already paid for to go racing with. This adjustability is the difference between winning and losing.
Right, absolutely. A modern race car has to have the ability to tune for a track condition or any situation that may come up. And this torque converter is the most tunable converter ever conceived.
Now, you have been doing this for many years, but we are seeing like champions and race winners, whether it be on outlawed tracks or national event tracks, they're using your converters.
Yeah, that's true. We've set records and won championships all over the world. And this converter, the bolt together converter, we brought this to the industry almost 35 years ago. So we've been doing this a long time. The technology in-house is just phenomenal.
Let's talk about some of the customer service that you offer, because people are like, okay, I want to win races, but where is my spot with Neal Chance Racing Converters? If they have something unique that they want to do, maybe a combination that they need put together unique for their combination, how do you handle that?
When a customer has his Neal Chance converter out, he runs it, the best thing we can do for him is to link up through the internet with them, take a look at their data. So they'll have their data log on their computer, we'll link screens to the internet, we'll be able to read that data and then show them how to advance their program.
And depends, 5,000 horsepower Pro Mods, 1,500 horsepower showdown cars, or just a really powerful street car, you've got something for them.
Absolutely. The technology we developed in the racing world to win all these championships, we did the same thing with the street performance car, because today's modern street rod is nothing to have 700, 1,000, 1,200 horsepower in a street-driven car that runs on pump gas. And that same technology, we developed a converter that's very user-friendly, very inexpensive. A converter like this starts at like $1,000.
And a lot of people think, like, oh my goodness, Neal Chance Racing Converters, that's just for Pro Mod cars, and that's not the case.
Not the case. The popular hot rodding scene today has, whether it's a boosted LS or any other type of hot rod with a big block Chevy or a Ford or whatever, if it's got an overdrive transmission with a lockup converter, say the 4-speed and 6-speed overdrive lockups, that's the kind of street rod performance converters we're talking about, one just like this one.
Performance and drivability, which I think is everybody's goal with a powerful street car.
Right, absolutely. In fact, we even have a lot of people that'll ask us, well, I've put a supercharger on my car, I've put a turbocharger on my car, why do I need a converter? Well, that factory converter was designed for the factory power curve of a stock motor. So when you boost it and you make a lot more power, you throw nitrous on it or whatever, you've changed the power curve, the converter needs to be adjusted for that.
Good point. You're going to spend all that money on a supercharger. Go the extra mile. Performance, adjustability, drivability, and maybe even a race win. If you are looking for that, hit their website. Marty's got it going on.
Do not touch that dial or that iPad or that cell phone. We will be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by Topcoat right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Topcoat, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Now, when you go into one of those mega chain auto parts stores, you walk in and there's usually one item on the shelf and the price is printed right there, Tom, so you're paying what they're asking and you don't have a frame of reference. How do I know if I'm getting a good price or not? I have no idea. And a great example of that are these two different alternators here.
Right. I have one alternator that's from a 50-year-old Chevy and one from a 10-year-old Chevy, and they look similar, but the new alternator for the newer vehicle produces 3 times as much amps as the older alternator, so it should naturally cost more. And if you look in the RockAuto.com catalog, you can see the price for the alternator for the 50-year-old Chevy still costs about what it did 20, 30 years ago. It's still less than $50. So that you can translate that and say, okay, they're giving me a fair price on the alternator for the antique vehicle. They're giving me a fair price on the alternator for the newer vehicle. And something else you can do in the RockAuto.com usually offers a choice of brands. So you can look through, you can choose the brand you prefer, and you can see the different prices from the different manufacturers. That'll give you a feeling for what the price ranges should be.
I love the having a frame of reference and being able to tell. And I also like the fact that if an alternator costs you $50, 30 years ago or 40 years ago, it's about the same now.
Yeah, it's amazing. You think just with inflation it'd be higher, but we strive to offer reliably low prices consistently.
You do reliably low prices and all the parts your car will ever need. It's rockauto.com. Check them out on the web.
Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
All right, shop owners, imagine this scenario. Someone rolls up to your garage and he's got an oil leak. You don't quite know what it is, but it could be something really simple like a cross-threaded plug on the bottom. Maybe it's come loose. So the first thing you want to do is get underneath and take a look. And if it's that simple, you'll be able to get them on their way right away and save some time. But all of your lifts are occupied. So you have to take a look at the vehicle out in your parking lot. Maybe it's gravel, maybe it's muddy. There's no way a regular mechanic's creeper is going to work for you. A wheeled creeper is for smooth floors like in your shop, and there's no chance the wheels are going to go anywhere on gravel. And that is the beauty of Magic Creeper. It can roll over just about anything, rough pavement, grass, or even large gravel. And let's talk about ground clearance. Most SUVs have 7 or 8 inches of room underneath, and cars have only 5 or 6 inches, believe it or not. Even on smooth ground, you couldn't get a traditional creeper under there with you on it. And that is where the Magic Creeper shines. No wheels to worry about, and that'll enable you to get under there and do what you need to do. But the Magic Creeper isn't just for the pros. It's a multi-purpose tool you're going to want to keep in your car all the time. And that's not a bother because the Magic Creeper weighs next to nothing. And it rolls up nicely, so it doesn't take up a whole lot of room in there either. Of course, you can use it for any roadside repairs you need to make, but you might not find yourself having to actually get under the car on the side of the road. What about something more common? Maybe a flat tire. Well, of course, flat tires usually happen at the worst time, invariably when you're all dressed up to go someplace. Well, guess what? Magic Creeper to the rescue. You can use it as a kneeling pad when you're changing that flat tire, and it's easy on the knees. It's much easier on your clothes. You can change that tire lickety-split, and you'll be on your way. So find them on the web, and make sure you go to magiccreeper.com because there are a lot of imitators out there, but there is only one Magic Creeper. Go check them out. Keep that seatbelt fastened because this ride is not over. We've got plenty more. Motorhead Garage presented by Top Coat coming up right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat, is brought to you by Stage 8 Fasteners, home of the world's best locking header bolt. Locking kits now available for all turbo applications. Go to stage8.com. Rubin Trucks, custom Jeep Wranglers, Gladiators, parts, and accessories. Steel Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. And by NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by Top Coat, and earlier we heard from our friends over at our sister show Performance TV. So let's do it one more time, this time with both Kathy Fisher and Joe Costello.
If you're a Jeep owner who likes to go topless, you're going to want to pay attention to this. The folks at Toplift Pros are back with an update to their already amazing product. Barry, tell us a little bit about what you've done.
Well, as we all know, the Jeeps are a lot of fun, and taking the top off makes the Jeep even more fun. What we've done is we've taken the hassle of getting your Jeep hardtop off. We've turned it into a very simple and easy, safe way to do that.
Now, a lot of our viewers already have this product. It's amazing. One person lifts it up. You've made it even more easy. Show us how.
Well, what happens is as we do normally with it, is we push it into position, we prep it, and then we push on the lever like you had mentioned. But now we prep it, position it, and now it's just a matter of pushing the button.
Look at that, one touch, simple, easy. You can do it by yourself. And so you want to go outside with your Jeep topless, it's going to be a lot easier to do it. I can imagine a lot of people who have Jeeps really love this product because it just opens up their options.
Oh, absolutely. One of my favorite compliments that we get from people all the time is this is the best money that they spent on their Jeep, and that makes it worthwhile. See people that take this and use it like that.
So from top on to top off, how long are we talking?
Less than 2 minutes.
See, and to me, that makes every reason you bought the Jeep come to the forefront. You can do it quickly. You can get out there, and it seems like you'd be able to store it pretty easily as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you take the hardtop off the Jeep, it just stays there. So it comes off in seconds, it stores safely, instantly, and then you just position this in the garage, and it saves space. It takes up very little room in the garage.
And it looks very sturdy also, so rolling around with the top on the Toplift Pro seems like it would be pretty simple.
Oh, it is. It's extremely simple. We've designed this with 4 independent casters, so it rolls and it's very easy to maneuver whether you're on like a concrete floor or on pavers or unimproved surfaces. It works wonderfully.
And for people who already have the previous version, you guys are selling this as an add-on, correct? So if they're at home, they see this and go, "Oh my goodness, I love that."
Yeah,
they can add it on.
Absolutely. This is brand new. We just came out, and it's a power assist motor, so that you can just, as you can see, just push a button and does all the work for you.
No need to go through a lot of work, heavy lifting. Literally, just one button, it comes up, you roll it back, you're in the Jeep, you're on the road. To me, that is the ultimate Toplift Pros. You guys have got a good thing going on, but I got to see it in action, so let's kick it on over to Kat.
You know, Joe, with the Toplift Pro, it's such a cool product, but it's even better to see it in action. I've had an opportunity to use this when you guys first came out with it, and it was super simple just to pop it up using body weight. But now you've got this button, Fred.
Right.
One finger is really, really cool.
Right. So essentially, we've adapted an actuator that just helps remove the top with the touch of a finger. And it's all battery operated, self-contained, and we've also adapted a trickle charger on there to keep your battery charged at all times. And then when you want to take your top off, it's a topless in 2 minutes or less.
2 minutes or less. And is there any particular way that we need to roll this in? I mean, obviously you've done this quite a few times. Do we need to be careful of how we locate this?
So it just goes in center and towards the back, and that's it. And so on a 2-door, you really don't need to use your support rails, but we always encourage that for safety reasons. And on a 4-door, we have an extension rail for it.
All right, so some of us aren't lucky enough to have a whole lot of, room in our garages or whatever. What about storage with this unit?
Absolutely phenomenal. So this is the best device on the market, hands down. Storage-wise, you're not going to lose any room in your garage. You can park your Jeep in the garage anywhere you want and put this right in front of it. You can touch your front bumper right to the back legs, and boom, it stores right over the hood of your Jeep. No loss of space.
That's right. So that way we're not hanging this from the rafters or whatever. We can use this outside if we need to.
Extremely efficient.
Yes, with one person being able to do it with one finger, we can have the top off in minutes because we bought these Jeeps to get out and enjoy them.
Yes, then that's what many of our customers say. It's the best money they've ever spent on their Jeep, period.
Wow, to be able to do this. And of course, if you can buy the unit the way it is here, or if you want to retrofit one you may already have, you can check out their website for more at topliftpros.com.
And that is going to do it for another episode of Motorhead Garage presented by Top Coat. If you miss us until next week, be sure to check us out on our Facebook page. And if you have something you want to see featured on our show, be sure to email Jeff at masterstv.com. For our entire crew here at Motorhead Garage, we will see you next week, same time, same sandbox.